Hello guys, so my name is Angelica Cruz and today I have a special video for you. I am turning 20 soon. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like turning 20 is such a big thing, like just entering your 20s, a really big and special thing. And I feel like it's underplayed a lot. 18 and 21 are like the big celebrated birthdays, but I'm going more into my adulthood and like I have to figure things out on my own now, and like being a teenager is really hard, and like just figuring out who I am as a person as a teenager with like my parents and like a bigger support system was still hard, and now I have to do it kind of more independently. So I'll be sharing like a few things I'm fearful of entering my 20s, and also things I've learned my 19 years alive. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so starting off with the things I'm scared about entering my 20s. I am very scared for my future, like meeting my goals and expectations I have for my future career and just like self-development goals. In my 20s, I'm definitely scared of like losing myself so badly that I just go like the wrong direction, and I don't know, it's scary. I am also scared of losing the people in my life. I mean, it's like pretty inevitable I'm gonna lose people, but I really love the people in my life right now, and I would hate to lose anyone. And with that said, I'm also scared of the people who are going to enter my life, like if they will have a good or bad influence on me. One big thing is being scared of financial freedom. That is, I feel like, a huge thing. Capitalism just controls me. I'm such a material girl, but that's my own problem. But just like being financially free, and I don't know, it's just like I feel like a common concern, right? This one is a little hard to just say verbally, but I'm scared of like finding love and just like kind of settling down, you know. That's pretty scary, and just like getting into relationships is just like a whole monster, you know. But hopefully my mindset on that changes in my 20s. I'm scared of not doing what I love. Like I'm scared that because of my worry about being financially stable, I feel like I'm stressing about if my job will provide me like enough money, but also like something I enjoy, you know? The biggest thing I'm scared of is just like going into this new decade of just kind of being more independent and learning more on my own about myself. As I mentioned earlier, it's like a lot easier as a teenager because you had like a support, or at least I had a support system. Not gonna lie, I feel like I was like very privileged and blessed with the people who are around me, and like they were very supportive, but I definitely want to grow out of that and be more independent. So those are all the things I am scared of entering my 20s. All right, so one thing I learned my 19 years alive is that you write your own narrative, or in control of your own life. You make your own decisions, you feel the way you feel, you have control of the pathway you want to take. Yeah. Another thing I've learned my 20 years alive, 19 years alive, you can't undo something. So if you're gonna do something like a risky decision, just fully commit to it and not look back. You did what you did, can't go back. Just learn from it and grow, and that's pretty much it with that.
Alright guys, this one is kind of silly, but I recently learned how to do this yoga pose, and it's technically within my 19 years of living, so it was only for like a split second, but it's really hard doing it in heels, but it's fine, I can do it, trust.
This one, something I've like kind of struggled with accepting, I guess, but it's okay to not be okay. You don't have to be at 100% all the time. It's okay to not be your best version of yourself. Like, you're gonna have bad days, so that's something I just had to learn and accept like over time, and it's still something that I'm still working on, but yeah, it's okay to not be okay. All right, this one is kind of hard to say out loud, but I think it's like important to acknowledge the times I haven't been the best person. So I've learned when I've been a bad person, a bad friend, a bad family member, a bad partner, and all the toxicity I developed, I guess, and ways to get out of bad mindsets and just the way I treat people. So yeah, I think it's something very important to learn about yourself and be mindful of. The next thing is learning about my boundaries. Boundaries is something that I've always struggled with in terms of just knowing my own limits. I tend to try to take on more than what I can carry, whether that's like just with school, work, extracurriculars, trying to be there for other people when I can't even be there for myself. So boundaries are very important to have, and I've like just learned the value of having boundaries within myself, with my relationships with other people, and the activities I do. One thing I learned is that it's okay to feel how I feel. It's okay to feel emotion and just not identify with it, because I feel like that's like a root of my anxiety. Just saying things I'm not and telling myself bad things. We are our biggest enemy. So yeah, just not identifying with my emotions and just like allowing myself to feel it. Simply that. All right, I am a huge overthinker, so one thing I definitely did learn over time was that there is so much beauty in simplicity and just accepting the way things are, just the way they are. Like, it's just not that deep, pretty much. So yeah. Another thing I learned is that my family, my friends, and God are here for me, and I can just show up as my unapologetic self without feeling very ashamed. Like, they'll call me out and stuff, but I can just be my silly self sometimes, and I want to be my silly self. And yeah. Hi guys. So nothing's new in a sense where Angelica procrastinates on making videos. Hopefully that changes in my 20s, but I actually got my hair done today. It's gonna take some time for me to get used to it myself, but I like it. It's bringing me back to my roots, you know, like literally my roots, because it's my original hair color. Let's continue this video. I think everyone who comes into my life and stays or leaves has a purpose. I've had many people who have left me, which is totally fine. And I've also had people stay in my life, like my best friend Isabella and the new friends I'm making right now in college. I think everyone just serves a purpose in my life, whether it's temporary or long-term. Another thing I learned is how to better communicate with people and also kind of read the room. I feel like a lot of people struggle with that nowadays and are just so consumed on like stuff that isn't necessarily the most important thing, and we all get so caught up on certain things that we forget to communicate with each other. Just reading the room, you know. All right, on a more serious note, one of the most important things I've ever learned was like how I get through difficult periods of my life. Growing up, I struggled with anxiety and depression, and I've grown up watching people go through the same thing as me in different ways. For me personally, I learned that there are a few things that have helped me get out of those bad moods, I guess. The first is having at least 2 to 3 hobbies to do, having something to do rather than just like letting yourself sit in your thoughts or just stay in bed all day. A great distraction, and it gets you moving rather than like just settling in your thoughts and marinating in it. Another thing that's helped me was creating a routine, like waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning, working out at 6:30, eating breakfast at 7:30, showering, and then managing my classes and allocating time to study and hang out with friends and family. I really had to push myself to be persistent and maintain a routine, but honestly it's helped so much. Like having a routine, it's helped me get out of the low lows. Another thing that has helped me out are doing challenges like 75 hard. Though I have never completed a 75 hard challenge, I feel like, again, with the routine thing, it's like a great way to just keep going, stay motivated. You have like more of a purpose because you have a challenge to do. Challenges are fun. Like this day I'm gonna eat 3 meals a day, or I'm gonna drink 2 Hydro Flasks like each day for this amount of time, and then it just becomes a habit too, which is awesome, you know? Lastly and most importantly, I think just talking things out and communicating how I feel and why I feel that way with others is very crucial to me. I just am a very vocal person, I feel like, and I'm very expressive, so it helps me like figure things out more, like why I'm feeling this way, or what is a feeling and what is a fact, you know, because my anxiety gets me pretty bad and I tell myself my feelings are facts, and I don't tell myself some nice things sometimes. So those are the things I've learned has helped me through dark moments of my life. Another silly one is that I like to move my body around. I feel like some people don't like doing outdoors activities or sports or anything, but I realized that as much as I am terrible at sports and as much as I am unathletic, I love trying new activities, like moving my body around. Like I like surfing, I like playing tennis, doing hot yoga. I like dancing in my room. I dance in my room a lot. I just like to move my body around. It feels good to like externally like let all the energy out like that. You know, we're getting into important business because I'm drinking hot cocoa. It's a hot cocoa type of night. Delicious. Moving on, I think another very, very important thing that everyone should learn is learning how to resolve conflict. I, as a child, used to fight with my parents all the time over the smallest things, but I feel like they were both valid reasons on both ends. But one thing that I've learned is that you can resolve conflicts without like having an argument. It can just be like a discussion or something, and it's very important that you give yourself the space and time you need in order to resolve conflicts. Like sometimes you can't just jump into conflicts right away and try to solve them and think everything's okay. And I think that's one of the flaws I had with friendships and my romantic relationships. Wanted to get everything out of the way. I hated feeling uncomfortable with not being okay with someone, but you do have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable when it comes to conflicts, because nothing can change overnight. Something I've accepted. In order to resolve conflict, I learned that I need to lower my pride. I used to be very prideful and think that I was always right, or resolving conflict, I think I just needed to prove myself, but it's now for me just seeking a win-win situation and finding compromise and making sure that the other person feels understood and heard. And it is definitely something I am still working on, for sure. It's a journey. All right, so something that I kind of learned recently about myself, or not learn, but I was reminded of in my 19th year. I was reminded that full life to me that I've learned in like high school is living in the present. I feel like the root of my anxiety is that I'm not being present and I can't see what's right in front of me because I'm stressing about something in the future, or regretting or worrying about something in the past. I get so wrapped in my head about what I've done in the past and what will happen next in the future that I just sometimes get blinded. I just forget to be present. I feel like it's really easy, especially nowadays with so much going on. Honestly, a full life to me is just being present and cherishing every moment I have with my friends, my family, and myself as well. I feel like it's just very important to just acknowledge and be appreciative of the time we have, because we don't know when it'll be taken from us. All right, we are now at 19. Don't mind the crunching noises in the back. Echo's eating. Girls gotta eat when girls gotta eat. But the 19th thing I learned is that no matter how far I stray away from my self-identity or how much I lose myself, I will only be more sure of myself and be stronger and more confident each time I do stand up. And it's kind of cheesy, but I think for me, 19 was a huge year for me to figure out my morals. It was like I was put in a position where I really had to think of the person I wanted to be, how I wanted to treat people, and how I wanted to treat myself. And it would lay out my 20s for me. Having confidence in myself, like no matter what, I know that I'll always find a way back, no matter how difficult it gets. 19 was pretty difficult, not gonna lie. But yeah, that is all that I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble. If you've been on this journey with me, thank you. I appreciate you guys for tolerating everything that I put you guys through, and for all the fun memories we've had together. And if you're just joining for the first time, welcome. I hope you guys stay. The camera died literally right as I was wrapping it up, but it's okay. As I was saying, I hope for those who had just started tagging along, I hope you guys stay on this journey of growth and self-development. We're here for each other, you guys, and I hope you guys tag along all the fun adventures and memories I have. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.